Hey guys, welcome back to the CulePodcast. Welcome back to another episode, season 4, episode 37. On today's episode, guys, we're going to be talking about some Barcelona news. We're going to be talking about Jonathan David. What is the latest in regards to him? Talk about Jonathan Tah, the German center back. What is the latest transfer news in regards to these two Barcelona targets? And then, as well, talking about Robert Lewandowski in a little bit more detail. Talk about the game against Atletico Madrid that is coming up in the Copa del Rey. And also, briefly, talking about Barcelona's 4-1 victory over Osasuna in a little bit more detail. But as always, guys, make sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. Everything's posted down below in the description. And as well, if you guys do prefer to listen to this show on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify, feel free to go over there as I will be posting the link to listen, basically. But Avilo, welcome. How are you doing on this fine Monday night? How are you?
Good, bro. Nervous about Wednesday, but
Nervous.
happy about the last two La Liga games. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Why are you nervous for Wednesday?
I'm never gonna say nervous more, bro. A game like that after what happened away. I know what we did in La Liga against them in the Metropolitano. I know that was a big deal. It's just a team like that. There's only a handful of teams. There's only that team and another team in La Liga that can give us that intensity of a game. Them and Real Madrid, and it's gonna be tough. I mean, and I'm mainly worried because of the fitness of our players. It would have been 3 games in less than a week, and I mean, it's gonna be scary. How many more Jonathans are we going after? We'll be talking about that, but. But yeah, the main word is fitness and seeing how if we can continue with that intensity that carried over from the weekend. So
Okay, okay. Well, I mean, I do share some of your feelings. I do think that Wednesday's game is going to be a tricky game. It's a trap game because, I just feel that Atletico Madrid, they could be that, that pebble in your shoe. You know how that's always like uncomfortable? I feel Atletico Madrid can be the Barcelona, but we're going to be talking about that more on the episode. But Avilo, I want to hear your thoughts about Barcelona's game this weekend against Girona. What did you make of Barcelona's performance?
solid. I unfortunately wasn't able to watch the full game. I saw parts of it, but dominant win 4-1. I mean, you really can't ask for much more. I was hoping for scrappy wins here and there, and we have had two dominant wins against Osasuna and Girona. And you just hope that it carries on during this tough stretch of games. Nice goals by Ferran Torres, Lewandowski. That first Lewandowski goal was the funniest shit you ever see. He numbed like the goalie. He
Hey,
hit
but that was a class
half,
goal.
a half chilena. I mean, it was funny, but I mean, at the pace at which he's scoring goals, you can't even really say that was luck. He's just
Hmm.
he's everywhere that he needs to be to score a goal, and yeah.
And I don't know. I do want to talk about Robert Lewandowski in a little bit more detail because he's been heavily scrutinized. This season. A lot of people called him wash. A lot of people, were saying, "Hey, Barcelona should have got rid of him last summer." But at the end of the day, he's Pichichi in La Liga. He's fighting against what a lot of people say is a prime Mbappe, so to speak, even though he had like a slow start to the season. And he's the top goal scorer across Europe. He has 40 goals across through both club and country. He's the only player that have done that so far. This season, and when you are also looking at his stats and everything, he's already surpassed legends such as Ronaldinho in the Barcelona's top goal scorers in all time, and he's about to surpass Pedro, and he's only a couple goals away from surpassing Neymar. And we've said Neymar has been an absolute gem at Barcelona, and so I want to ask you, what do you think that Robert Lewandowski's legacy is going to be? Because, we've been so critical, we've been so, I would say, negative about Robert Lewandowski, but he's been putting in numbers, and he's 36 years of age. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be the first to say I was one of those people that was hoping from that was saying that he was washed and that we should heavily consider bringing in a big time striker. What he's doing at this point is kind of like the phrase "aging like fine wine" it's almost like an understatement at this point because there's no reason why a player of his age should be the Pichichi leader right now over the great Mbappe that Ancelotti said that he was going to put up at like CR7 numbers at Madrid, which I think Ancelotti might be suffering from some dementia, but um, that's not. I mean, what else can you say about Lewandowski? He's playing at a whole other level. I still do believe that next year we should focus on trying to bring a decent, good striker that can take over once Lewandowski leaves, but he's scoring at all competitions. He's scoring at the highest level, and he's driving this. I mean, think about it. That Atletico game that we won La Liga 2 weeks ago, it wouldn't have been one if he hadn't scored that gorgeous goal to make it 2-1. And he's just playing at a different level right now.
Okay, okay. Seke, welcome. Good to see you. Seke, what do you think Robert Lewandowski's legacy is going to be at Barcelona by the time his period ends? Because we've been saying his praise in these past couple of weeks, but at the same time we've been very critical of him through some periods of the season, and those numbers, they speak for themselves. Top Pichichi, top goal scorer in Europe, and when you're looking at his competition for Barcelona's all-time goal scorers, he I would say he's close to reaching a point where he's up there with the best in Barcelona's history. He's only a couple of games away from surpassing Neymar, Pedro, already surpassed Ronaldinho in goals. What do you think his legacy is going to be at the end?
Yeah, I think there is a difference between how Barcelona fans judge their players and how you know fans of other teams judge their players. I think including me, I also do this. Any
Mm-hmm.
player on our team which is not looking good on the ball, or not if he is not eye catching, like Pedri or Lamine Yamal, if he is not smooth, if you consider Rafinha in his first season, if you
Yeah.
consider Lewandowski now, at his age, you consider Ronaldo Araujo. If this kind of these players are great, but they doesn't look good on the ball like Kubarsi do, like Lamin do, and like Pedri do, you know
Yeah.
at this,
Mm-hmm.
if yeah, if such kind of players exist in a team, people literally call them a flop. They
Yeah.
don't even consider they don't even consider the other qualities. And other thing is, if you are judging a player, we know everyone knows that they are playing at the highest level, but you are also consider you have to consider their condition also. Lamin is a 17-year-old, and Lewandowski is a 37-year-old.
Yeah.
So we can't really criticize them. Even if they are not performing at their level, you can't expect a 17-year-old to perform at the highest level, and same way you can't expect a 37-year-old to give a 10 out of 10 performance in every match. At least we can say, I also don't like Lewandowski's performance. If you go, because I view, I view the football like you have to perform better.
Yeah.
I don't care whether you score or not. That's the next thing, but you have to perform better, because throughout the 90 minutes, if you don't perform better, then there is a late chance that you will score goals and create plays.
Mm-hmm.
So people just have to, especially Barcelona fans, have to give him at least that, that he is very old, 37-year-old, and even at this age, he is the top scorer in Europe. He's top
Mm-hmm.
scorer in league. He is competing with all these youngsters like Mbappe and Haaland as a top scorer. So I am happy, at least as long as he does these jobs. Does at this point, I don't care if he plays like a scrappy player. Just score the goals that you want to
Okay.
score.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest, guys. If he gets more than 100 goals for Barcelona at this age with this young team, and he wins some trophies, even La Liga and Copa del Rey, I think Loki, he is a legend, not ultra legend like Xavi, Iniesta or Messi, but he is a legend.
Okay. And I mean, that's not crazy to say that because, as much as we say, hey, we want him to be performing better, some of his performances are very lackluster, even though he has scored. But at what point do those stats become so, irrefutable that you just have to acknowledge the amount of goals that he's putting up? Because he's been here this is about to be his third season for the club. And
Yeah.
he's already
He
surpassed.
already has 97 goals in like
Yeah.
130 appearances. That's
Yeah,
crazy
exactly.
ratio.
Exactly. The ratio is absolutely insane. And he's about to surpass, certain players that we idolize, such as, Neymar, your Pedros, Ronaldinho's, even though he wasn't goal scorers, your R9s, Obviously, he's going to get to the likes of Messi, of Suarez, and everything just because they've been here for way too long and they've scored too many goals. But, I genuinely believe that if Robert Lewandowski is able to, maybe I don't know, have a La Liga title to his name, another one, a Copa del Rey, and potentially, even a Champions League. I think he's going to be up there with Barcelona legends. I genuinely. Julian says, bring hashtag Neymar back. Well, I mean, Neymar, I don't think that that's going to be happening anytime soon. I genuinely just think that he's enjoying his time at Santos. But unfortunately, Neymar got injured yet again. And I think that's been the biggest hamper to his career so far. And talking about strikers, I want to move the conversation now to Jonathan David because, we say, hey, we understand that Robert Lewandowski is having this great run of form, but Barcelona have to look long term. And one of the options that is being thrown around there that Barcelona they've sort of ruled out, but at the same time they're keeping tracks of, is Jonathan David. And I think he's a fantastic move if Barcelona get him on a free, and on low wages, manageable wages, where it's not, breaking the Barcelona's wage structure. But this report has come out saying that Juventus and Inter, they are ready to meet Jonathan David's wage demands. And those wages demands are a 15 million euro signing bonus, 9 million euro salary per year, and 10 million euro in agent commissions. And this is after, looking at his salary at Lille, which is 2 million euros per year. So more than 4x, the amount of money that he's going to be paid to join either of those
What's
teams.
the
Now,
what's the point of agent commission when you are a free agent right now?
No,
I
bro,
don't get it.
that agent has to be throwing a party right now because 10 million to agents. I don't care if there's 5 agents, each agent getting 2 million. That's insane. But yeah, I'm not sure. No disrespect to Jonathan David, I'm not sure who he thinks he is, but making those demands to top clubs like Barca, I know it wasn't direct towards Barca, but he knows who he's making those demands to.
no.
Hey, I'm,
I
apart
I,
from
I would I would
agent,
rather go
yeah,
ahead.
apart from agent fees, yeah, I'm just saying that apart from agent fees and signing on bonus, we can give him his salary.
I
I
would
mean,
rather pay more for a player that deserves it than pay that for Jonathan David because you don't know where you're gonna get from him. And
No.
if you pull up his season numbers, they're not as impressive as you would think, right?
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna put on Jonathan David's numbers, and
yeah, I
when you're
think
talking about
his numbers are not that impressive, but he has scored like 15 plus 20 plus goals in League One, like for like 4 to 5 years, I think regularly.
okay, so right now he has scored 14 goals in League One. When you're looking at Ferran's contributions, a player who is in significantly lower wages, he has scored 9 goals, and he has played a total of
Yeah,
795 minutes.
exactly.
Jonathan David has played more than double, and Fernand is only 5 goals behind. When you're talking about wages and you're talking about bringing a player in, why? I'm a fan of Jonathan David. I think he's a great player. I think he'd
Yeah,
be a
I
perfect
also
striker
like him,
for.
but I think only problem with comparing Farhan with all these players is that he is on the next level because he has like more goals like more goals than Julian Alvarez. He has like more goals than Vinicius Junior. So I don't know whether it's right to compare him with Farhan because he is in different form right now. He is in his
Well,
David Villa arc now.
but if we have Ferran on the bench and putting in these numbers, why would we go out for Jonathan David necessarily with those wages and having barely better numbers? You
Look,
know.
I'm gonna tell you right now because when you look at the options as striker, my favorite is Gyökeres. Like we've been hearing rumors that that's probably not likely. Um, if you think about it, you're gonna end up, like with everything else there that's available, you're gonna end up overpaying for a player like Jonathan David. In my opinion, you go and get a winger, a left winger like Nico Williams, and then you keep Lewandowski around for one more year. You make Ferran Torres the full time backup striker, which he has pretty much been throughout the entire season, and then you figure out what to do with Rafinha. I just don't see the point in investing and overpaying for a striker that's not really as good as the money looks. And when you have some good options at left wing, so
No.
that's my opinion.
Okay. No, I mean the whole topic in regards to Jonathan David is yeah he's great, but he's not going to be coming in and becoming a starter. It's as simple as that. I don't think that that would be his role
No,
coming
but
into the team.
if you told me that you gotta pay more for someone like Gyökeres, I would do that because Gyökeres to me is
No.
a different it's a different level to Jonathan David. But again, like you're
Is
saying, for a player that won't play full time, that you don't really see as a as a great future striker, paying that money to not play every day is I
No,
don't
it's
know.
ridiculous. It's
I
ridiculous.
think I think we need a winger that can play both wings, and we need a fullback that can play as a left back and also right back. That's the signings I think we need.
I agree.
Okay.
We should probably focus on fullbacks and the left winger.
Mm-hmm. And so in regards to that, not only would he like be disrupting like the wave structure because players like a Pedri, such as I would say key players such as Ron Araujo, Pau Garcia, Lamine Yamal, I don't think they're anywhere near like that salary. Or if they're so they're you know close to it, but these guys are starters and the best players in the world. I don't think Jonathan David is anywhere near that realm. So genuinely, I think this is the last time we're going to be talking about this if that does happen. And talking about another signing, I want to be talking about another thing, Jonathan. But I want to be talking about Jonathan Tah because
And
reports.
no,
What
sorry,
happened?
sorry. I know I was gonna read a comment, but go ahead.
No, yeah, because the reports are saying that right now, because of Barcelona having an overbooking in the center back spot, us also being hampered by the financial fair play rules, just looking at how we're in the 1-to-1, but we need to make space, so a player needs to leave for someone to come in. Jonathan thought, he's still waiting for Barcelona, but at the same time, is a is advancement is going to be happening in the summer? Because if not, he has other offers and completely understandable. Like saying, hey, I have offers. Is something going to be happening? And so, is Jonathan that's still a move for Barcelona? I'm going to go to you,
I
Edward.
would, I would. I mean, like NJ said in the comments, I will take that move if we saw Christensen. I still think Christensen will have some value in the market. And again, if you do get Ta and you keep Christensen, you're gonna have five center backs, six center backs. One thing is depth. Another thing is overpopulation. So at that point, you're gonna have a very cramped up center back position. You're gonna have Araujo and Kouarsi. Inigo Martinez will be back. Eric Garcia if you don't sell him. Christensen and Ta. I like Ta, but we do have to clear some money for him. I think Christensen should be sold. I mean, I don't really see why Barca will hold on to him after he hasn't played all year. Um, but I like Ta, and like NJ said, I will accept Ta if we get rid of Christensen.
Okay, okay. I genuinely think that with the emergence also of Eric Garcia, it
Yeah.
makes things very difficult for I think Todd to come in. I just with him having that resurgence, it's just simply like, hey, it's only if Christensen leaves because I don't think Hansi Flick is going to want Eric Garcia
No,
to leave.
and also you can only have so many center backs in rotation. Let's say that you start Garcia and Araujo, and then you have Inigo off the bench. All right, you're already including Inigo. So that means you have Eric Garcia as the emergency center back. If you bring
Yeah,
in Ta, he's
yeah.
gonna be your fifth option. That's why I'm even saying, even after thinking about selling Christian to get Ta, that's five center backs. Your fifth center back, in my opinion, should be someone from Barca B at that point.
Yeah.
Someone that you gotta throw in worst
Mhm.
case. And yes, I know injuries happen, but having five center backs that should be starters, that's a lot of money that's gonna accumulate that you don't really
Mhm.
have space for.
Yeah, I also think I like Christensen. I also like his time at Barcelona. But if he can't be available for us for the entirety of the season, we just need to get rid of him, man.
Yeah.
Because at some point, we are lucky that nobody, no, none of our center back got injured because we only had Kubarsi at the start of the season. We only had Kubarsi and Inigo.
Mhm.
After that, we only had that kid from the academy, that one with the
Yeah.
I don't know long haircut, long.
It's
Yeah,
Sergi Dominguez.
yeah, Sergi Dominguez. And I think at some point that Quinta guy also played some games.
Yes, yeah. Cuenca
Yeah,
from
yeah.
I think B. Hmm.
Yeah, because at that time we needed Christensen, but he was injured and he is still injured. Season is also coming to end, so we need a if we say we have to sell him and we need to get a center back. And don't you think
Okay,
guys that
okay.
Eric Garcia is playing better in the stadium than as a center back?
Well, I mean, we haven't seen like a good run of games from Inigo in that center back role to say, hey, is he better at this as the pivot? Is he better in as a center back? I don't know, but regardless, he's been performing well. I've been liking how Eric Garcia has been showing. I think every single
Shout out
player.
to Javi, man. He was the one experimented Eric
Yes,
Garcia as a CDM.
yes, and on top of that, congratulations to Eric Garcia. He's reached, I believe, the 100 game milestone for Barcelona. That's very impressive. That's an achievement that not a lot of Barcelona players can attest to.
It
And
just I, as, as I was watching that Girona match, it just reminded me that how many players of that Girona team got taken away. Eric Garcia,
yeah,
that Alex guy in the CDM,
uh-huh.
Savinio, all their
Dovbik.
players, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
don't be top
precisely.
scorer.
No, and so just closing in into both the Jonathan sagas. Um, it's just simple. If Jonathan Tah is going to be coming to Barcelona, we would have to see Andres Christensen leave, because otherwise we would have 4 or 5 center backs that are playing at a very good level, and simply put, you're not going to be bringing in a center back if you have an overbooking in that spot. Van Lee, he talks about Robert Lewandowski, and he says Lewandowski will be top 5 all-time goal scorer by next season. Fifth place has 130 goals. I think that's very realistic. I think that's very realistic, and we're going to be, talking about, his legacy overall, because he's been here. He's been here for a
Do,
fraction of what the other
do you
legends
guys
have been
know
here.
who is the fifth top scorer right now?
The fifth top score, I had it right here. Um, let me see. Let me see. The fifth is Eto with 130.
Oh man, only maybe that's the only African player in top five in Barcelona scoring, and then he will also get thrown away.
Uh-huh. So it's Rivaldo also top. He's tied with Eto, but 130 goals. Okay. Okay, okay. So I mean, Robert Lewandowski, he'd have to score roughly 40 goals for Barcelona to surpass that, and he scored 40 goals this season. If he's here for one more season, I think he matches that. Honestly, I think he gets there. I see that as very realistic. Van Lias seeing very strong Salah links. The silence is deafening in Liverpool. Why no pen to paper? Yeah, Salah transfer in the summer. Who knows? Who knows? So that is a possibility.
Mm,
But
yeah, I mean, we already went over that. Like, I want him, but you're gonna have to bench him or Lamine Yamal. I don't know how you bench either one.
okay.
I don't see you moving either one to a left wing. So
Okay, okay. I mean, I'm in complete agreement. I just think that it's gonna be difficult to fit them both in, Lamine Yamal and Salah. But if Hansi Flick wants him, go for it. After what he's been doing this season, it's been absolutely fantastic. And talking about
I have
this
a,
season,
I have a
yes,
weird
again.
feeling that yeah, I have a weird feeling that Salah will have a downfall like Gundogan. After he leaves Liverpool.
Ooh, no,
I
no.
don't
Well,
know.
if he joins Barcelona, let's hope not. If he doesn't, I mean, then you can do whatever. But talking about this season, guys, I'm gonna be talking about Barcelona's Copa del Rey match against Atletico Madrid. A tricky game in the Wanda, 4-4 first leg, second leg in the Wanda. Alvaro, you at the start of the episode, you were talking about you were like feeling a little bit cautious because of the amount of games that Barcelona are going to be playing. But how do you see that game going? Because there was a report that saying that with Atletico Madrid being knocked out of the Champions League, basically being the giving up the La Liga title race because of their drop points against Espanyol, this is basically their last important game of the season,
yeah,
where it's all or nothing. Well, how do you
yeah.
think
I
Atletico Madrid is
mean,
going to approach that?
I'm less worried about their mentality of like, oh, this is our only chance. We gotta go all out. Like that doesn't worry me that much. What worries me is the fact that Barca it's coming off again, like I mentioned previously. It's gonna be their third game in less than a week. That's a lot in football. So, and we got positive news about Rafinha that he should be good to go. But it's just, I mean, it's scary. If Barca's able to come out of that second leg with a victory, bro, you gotta kiss Hansi Flick's feet
Yeah.
because I mean what he's doing right now with a team that again, yes, like for the most part we are healthy and on the field, but it's a lot of it's a lot of moving parts, and he's defeating teams with 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 certainty. 4-1 against Osasuna. It was 4-1 Osasuna, right?
Yeah.
4-1.
No, it was 3-0 against Osasuna and
No,
4-1
3-0.
against
Yeah,
Girona.
3-0 Osasuna, 4-1. So I mean, and now against Atletico, what he did again, I know Atletico. I know they're scared because after what happened in La Liga 2 weeks ago, they, I'm sure that they still don't have an answer to Hansi Flick to stop him. But I mean, they're always gonna be a thorn in our side, and I'm mainly worried about the fitness of the team. I'm not really worried about the play style. I think
Okay.
Andy Flick will do a good job. It's just the fitness of the team.
Okay. Okay. This is a second. Well, what do you think of Barcelona's game against Atletico in midweek?
To be honest, I am most scared of this game only. I have watched entire season. I was never scared of any of the game. I am only scared of the game because this game because if we lose these games, first of all, our dream of the table treble will end, and also it will bring so much amount of negativity, in terms of
Mm-hmm.
moral, and in terms of confidence, it will bring, because everyone in Euros waiting for the downfall of Barcelona right now, because
Yeah.
everyone knows that they just like everyone was waiting for the downfall of Liverpool, because they were on the top in the Premier League, they were on the top
Yeah.
in Champions League, and look at the negativity they got when they got out of the competition. Same is
Yeah.
will happen with Barcelona. That's the reason why I am scared, because of course I'm
Okay.
confident in the team, but it's just that some players on the team like Lamine and Kunde has played like straight more than 90 minutes for 3 games, including that penalty shootouts for their national teams.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wait,
I just think that I don't
no, go.
think that maybe I don't know whether they will able to play on the same level, because it's like third game in like 6 days now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
But
Even either if Hansi Flick gets the result in this game, either then maybe Hansi Flick is the god, or Simeone is just a bum. Then I don't know.
Just a
wait,
bum.
but do we not consider a treble with a Super Copa?
Nah, nah, you don't.
Nah,
No,
right?
Nah, 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 nah,
it's
you
like
don't. You
it's
don't.
Nah,
like
we
it's
wouldn't.
like travel with Carabao Cup.
Yeah, exactly. We're
Yeah,
not that shameless. We're
I,
not
I,
that
I feel I
shameless.
feel like fans would, but
Yeah. No, no, but here's the thing. I do agree with you, Sake. I do think that Barcelona, if knock on wood, it doesn't happen, but if we do get knocked out on Wednesday, I think knowing how negative and how toxic this fan base can be at times, I really hope it doesn't put a damper on this season because that
Also,
Barcelona, even if
also,
we're knocked out,
yeah. Also, it will hurt more because we knew that in the first leg we had the game in our hands. We were leading
no.
4-2, and we just considered the two dumb goals. It will
Mm-hmm.
hurt more because of that also.
Uh-huh.
yeah,
But
no,
but
sorry.
even then, like if Barcelona, like I think that Barcelona are gonna go through. I believe that we're gonna get a confident and great game on Wednesday. But even then, we still have the La Liga to compete for, and we still have the UCL. Like that game should not dictate how our season ends. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we look at the trouble with a double is still on the line. We can still get a very successful season, and that's what I hope this team doesn't fall into like the trap
Yeah,
of. But I'm excited.
this
But at
is
the
our
same time,
competition.
it's
Copa
tricky.
del Rey is
Yeah,
our competition. We need to win this at least.
Yo,
yeah.
Barca fans have to realize when we were talking before the season started, at least us on the Kool podcast, we had no expectations of a trophy. We were saying make it deep in the UCL and try to fight for La Liga, but we were never really expecting it to go this well. So God forbid we lose on Wednesday, which I again, like I said, I do. Even though I'm worried about the fitness, I do think we will go through. We have to understand that everything that this team has done and still has a chance to do.
Hmm. No, absolutely. And I do not want to see like the negativity just like spiral out of control, because I know that's something that this fan base can be really good at, just dampering the players. They're going to be talking, oh, let's not renew Frankie, get Lewandowski out of here. Pedri is super bad.
They will target the players that will make the mistake in the game, and not only the fan base. These Spanish and Madrid-based media will also, they are just waiting for one mistake about Barcelona. Let's be honest, they don't like praising Barcelona when they are winning, constantly. So if this is the only chance they get to criticize Barcelona, they will come with everything.
Yeah, exactly. But overall, just to talk very, very briefly about that game, what's the lineup are you guys expecting? For the game against Atletico, I expect relatively the same lineup. I only expect Rafinha, Frankie de Jong to come back, Inigo Martinez and Pau Cuarsí. In the 10, I'm going with Fermin Lopez in that 10. What do you think of it, though?
I mean, again, me and Alex were talking about this, and Barca, and we were saying, like those Barca go a little more like cautious this game. You can't. Like this game is the thing was as the Copa del Rey final. It's that big of a game. You can't if you didn't rest players against Girona and Osasuna, you can't rest them now. This game it has the biggest implications of all of them. And like you said, I do think that it will be Inigo and Cubarsí, it will be Conde and Balde. In the middle, Pedri, Frankie. Number 10, I could see Fermin. I could see it. You have Gavi as a late sub. And then you have Rafinha, Yamal winging it, and Lewandowski up top. I don't think you can play any lightly here.
Okay. Siseka, do you start Gavi or Fermin in the 10? Or do you throw like a wild card and put Pablo Torre?
Yeah, no, I am also starting I am also starting Fermin. It's just that only difference I see from Fermin and Dani Olmo is that Dani Olmo looks for a pass, also he looks for a goal. It's just with Fermin is that whenever he gets the ball, he just turns to goal and then tries to shoot. It's not like he cannot assist, because we saw, he assisted Lewandowski with a header with a header for his goal.
Yeah.
He just needs to be a little bit of calm in the box on the ball, and he just needs to look for a pass, and if of course he will score goals, but it's just that he just turns and then tries to shoot and just sometimes it ends up in goal, and then sometimes it's just it's like Vinicius penalty.
Vinicius penalty. Yeah, I think it's going to be an exciting match, guys. I think it's going to be an exciting match on Wednesday. I'm going to be having a watch along on the channel. But guys, that was it for the episode.
Yeah, I will start Fermin, but I think maybe Gavi will start because they also have roadrunners on their team like Gallagher and all these players. So
but they also really like Gavi's intensity off the bench late in game. So
maybe that is also true.
I see both playing now. It's going to be up to Hansi to see which player he opts for. But guys, hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. It's going to be on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. We'll be back on Wednesday with the watch along and the match reaction. But as always, guys, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace out, guys.